Hi, this is Christian Cantrell, and this is the Unicomp SpaceSaver M. This particular keyboard is in a Mac layout, so it has your command key, and it has your things like brightness adjustment and volume control and stuff like that that you're accustomed to on Mac. It's the pearl white color, which is sort of a retro look here, with these gray keys sort of on the periphery. This keyboard was originally manufactured by IBM. The Model M keyboard, as it was originally known, was a very iconic keyboard. The rights then passed, I believe, to Lexmark, and then eventually to a company called Unicomp, which is who I bought this keyboard from. It still uses the same switches, which is sort of the important part of a mechanical keyboard. It uses these buckling spring switches, and I'll just do a little typing on it real quick so you can hear what it sounds like. So you may remember that sound from the 1980s, from the Model M. You may remember it fondly, or you may think that it's a little bit too noisy. Most people who are into mechanical keyboards still really like this keyboard and like the switch. It's a very satisfying keyboard to type on, and the reason is the buckling spring switch. The way this switch works is there's a spring mounted inside of the switch. It's mounted vertically, but not perfectly vertically. It's a little bit of an angle, so when you start to press it, once you apply a certain amount of force, the spring just buckles, and that creates both tactile feedback and a clicking sound, and that is from the spring actually striking the side of the switch. So you can see no matter how gently I press it, once that spring buckles, you get that feedback, and I can feel a little bump in my finger. So it's a very satisfying typing experience, although it is somewhat noisy. But that's kind of what mechanical keyboard enthusiasts generally like. So it's a great switch. It requires a little bit more force than what I'm accustomed to. The keyboard I've been using lately uses MX Cherry blue switches, which require less force. So when I first start typing on this keyboard, coming from my other keyboard, it feels like I have to apply a little bit more force than what I'm accustomed to, and it feels like I might get tired typing after a while or something, but then I get used to it and it's no big deal. So it's sort of a matter of personal preference in terms of the amount of force that you need to apply to the keys. So what I like about this keyboard are that I do like the switches. Unicomp has done a good job of preserving the feel of the original Model M keyboard from IBM. What they have not done a good job at preserving is the quality of those old keyboards. The quality of this keyboard is actually, other than the switches, quite poor. I'm actually quite disappointed in the quality, the fit and finish, and the build of the keyboard itself. It's very plasticky. It's lightweight. The fit and finish is very poor. You can see around the openings here. Hopefully that's being picked up by the video. You can see some sort of plastic. I don't really know what the word is for it, but sort of some residue there that just was not sanded or finished properly in the manufacturing process. So it makes it look very cheap. It makes it look sort of like a toy. Some of the keys actually have some dents. This key down at the bottom has sort of a dent in it. I had to clean some kind of residue off parts of the keyboard. I didn't get all of it, but it looks like residue from a hot glue gun or something, which makes it look very sloppy. This looks like a prototype keyboard to me, actually. It looks like it wasn't actually finished. The escape key here, I don't know how well you'll be able to see it, but the keys are not well centered in the openings, which is sort of strange. Here's the worst part. It's actually broken, and it was shipped to me this way. The case for the keyboard is manufactured in two primary parts, which are then joined, and this is the seam at which they're joined, and they're screwed together with some screws in the bottom here, and it's open here, so it seems to be broken. You can see that it's closed on this part, and this is what was shipped to me, so it doesn't look like anybody really inspected this too carefully before they boxed it up and shipped it out. So, so what I like about this keyboard, I do like the switches. The switches are very representative of the old Model M switches, but the keyboard itself is not. Also, it has these little legs here on either side, which are kind of cheap. I feel like they're going to break off. I feel like they could pop out pretty easily. So I'm not into the build quality of this keyboard. If you absolutely have to have these switches, if you remember them fondly from the 80s and this is the typing experience that you want, then you might be able to overlook the build quality of the keyboard. Personally, I can't overlook that because I have other keyboards that are manufactured very well, that are nice and heavy, that sit well and sit, are seated firmly on my work surface, that don't creak when I push on them. And that's what I'm going to go with. I'm going to go with the more well-rounded keyboard. But ultimately the most important thing are the switches. So if you really like these switches, if you really want the buckling spring switch, and you don't mind spending the money, I spent $94 on this, so it was not cheap. But if you really absolutely have to have those switches and you can't find an original IBM Model M, or you want the Mac layout, which is something that's unique about the SpaceSaver M, then this keyboard might be for you. So I'm just going to do a little bit more typing just to give you a feel for the sound. Okay, so that's it. This is the Unicomp SpaceSaver M. Thanks for watching.